are you? Welcome to another vlog. And this week I'm hoping it will be a very crafty one. So I don't have like huge plans this week, but I finally managed to organize myself a bit more when it comes with clay projects and my plans towards my clay trinkets. And I finally decided that I would focus for now on making cats. I'm not sure I'll be able to show them to you properly, but we will try. And we will try to not break any of this by accident. But yeah, I have these three cat models. So black cat, white cat with a black ear, and of course an orange cat. So these are the main cat designs I have for now, and I did try others, but these for now are my favorites. So I think I'm going to focus this week on making these cats, making a good number of them. So I will try to just focus on sculpting one of them, like a color at a time. So just sculpt a bunch of cats, paint them all in the same way. When I'm done with those, move on to the next color. And I think it will be cool to finish all the cats this week. Not sure it will happen. That's another thing I want to check. How long will I take with each cat? Especially if I decide to make this a bit more serialized, right? Instead of making like, okay, let's make 10 cats and then I'll paint 2 in one color, 2 in another, and another 2 in another, and so on and so on, because then I'm always changing colors. I think it makes things a bit I think it makes the whole process a bit more convoluted as well as slower. So I'm going to focus on one color at a time. So perhaps I'll start with a black cat, for example, because it's just really one color, and then draw the eyes and it's done. And once I'm done with the black cats, I will do another color until I finish all of them. So yeah, I think those are the plans for now. A lot of sculpting this week, so I'm looking forward to that. And last week on last vlog, I did start to take photos of my clay pins and magnets, but I don't like, they are good photos, but it's not what I want, I think. So I might redo those and focus on a smaller number of designs. I want to change the background of the photos a little bit because I'm not 100% happy with the photos I took last week. And since I'm planning on making all these cats this week, I'll probably take photos of those once I have them ready. So for now, I think this is basically it for this week. I'm going to focus on sculpting. I also need to work on my class that I've been working on. I did talk about it some weeks ago, I think, some vlogs ago. So I need to work a bit more on that. But I think my main focus is going to be making the cat pins and magnets. And I'm looking forward to that, and of course I'll be showing you some of that as well. And as always, I will have some book updates for you. I also need to update my book journal because I haven't yet. We are into April already, and I haven't touched my book journal yet, so I really want to do that this week. So yeah, we're going to talk about books as per usual a bit further in the video. And for now, it's time to play a bit with clay. Alright, it's dinner time, and today I'm going to try a new recipe. This is from Pickup Limes, and it's a potato and chickpea curry. This is the first time I make a curry with potatoes, so we'll see how that goes. It sounds very interesting, so yeah, dinner time. Hello guys, I'm back and I just spent most of my morning sanding the cat pieces I started. I'm not finished with them yet, but I was taking a bit of a break and I thought to come here and give you some reading updates, some book updates. Also, totally unrelated, but I just realized I can already put my hair in a small ponytail, which I think looks really cute. My hair is long enough to do that once again, and I'm really happy. I think this is like the length, my favorite hair length. Like sometimes it starts to annoy me to have the hair in front of my face, but I think this can work. But yeah, nice new hairstyle unlocked. But yeah, small book, small, not really small perhaps, but wanted to give you some book updates. So the Thursday Murder Club, like honestly, I'm not really enjoying it as much as I wanted to. Like I am almost 200 pages in and almost basically halfway through it, and it's not really doing it for me. Like as I said before, we are constantly changing perspectives, and it's something that I generally don't really mind. I actually if it's well done, I do like that. Like sometimes it can be a bit too much and you have to transition from one character to another, but generally I do enjoy reading several perspectives from different characters. But in here it's just too much. Like I did mention this before, but we do have chapters that are like 1 or 2 pages, which wouldn't be bad per se if it weren't for the fact that it's not really adding anything to the story nor to the characters. Like it's not giving me more about the characters, their story, their personalities, nothing really, and we're constantly changing from one to the other without adding much to it. Also, this is like a murder mystery, right? And one thing I enjoy about those books is that you as the reader are trying to solve the murder as well, right? Like I think it's part of the fun of these books, but I'm feeling like we're not being given enough information, so we can also try to figure out like, oh, it was the butler in the living room with a knife. Like we're not really being given anything, and I feel it's going to be one of those books where you get to the end and you discover who done it, and it's the kind of thing that it will be really obvious if you were given some information. And I don't think it's really fun with a murder mystery kind of story when like all information is being concealed from you, so you don't figure things out. Like it's so obvious or so simple that they won't tell you anything until you reach the end. For me, that's not really fun. And I've been thinking about DNFing this book, and now that I'm talking to you about it, now that I do listen to myself talking about this book, like I am kind of convinced that I should just rather DNF this book, because I don't really see anything positive in the book for me. Like there's nothing substantial about the characters so far, about the story, about the mystery. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't think this is it for me. So yeah, I think I'll just, because one thing I've been noticing while reading this is that I'm constantly reaching out for my phone, and that's usually a telltale of a book not really being too interesting for me. Like if I'm reaching out, if I'm looking for another distraction all the time, then I probably shouldn't be forcing myself so much and should just probably go for something else. Like I do use books, like I really like reading, and I use that as a way of not being constantly scrolling through social media. That's why I always have a book on my phone to read. So if I go on my phone, I'll go read something instead of just mindlessly scrolling. So yeah, I think I'm just going to DNF this one. The good news is that way I can go back to the library and pick something else. I've been also thinking about renting some movies, seeing what they have over there, and perhaps bring something to watch just like for nostalgia's sake, really, and perhaps watch something that we've never watched before. And as I said, I've been feeling like I did showed you or talked to you about my April TBR, and there are quite a lot of horror books that I want to read. And I did mention a few of those, so I think I'll just stop with this one and pick one of those. I'm leaning towards The Only One Left by Riley Sager because, as I said, I've read from this author before, and one of them I really enjoyed, the other not so much. But in general, I do like their writing styles, so I'm leaning towards that, especially since it's a book I've been meaning to read for a long time. I also have Jane Eyre, so that's also an option, but I think I'd rather go with the Riley Sager one because I'm really feeling that kind of horror, I think. And I do have something new to show you as well. So I got uprooted recently by Naomi Novik, and I've heard great things about this book. And I do really like Naomi Novik's books, like they're mostly fantasy, and so far I've enjoyed them a lot. I really liked Spinning Silver. It was my first Naomi Novik book, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice book. It has a lot of Slavic folklore, and I really like the story. And for example, that's one book that does actually do a lot of POV, and sometimes we are constantly changing from one character to the other. But I think it's really well done because when that happens, it's kind of a time sensitive thing, and we are seeing all these characters reacting to different situations, or sometimes it's a similar situation, and we're seeing how how each of them is reacting to them. So it adds to the chaos there and to the urgency of the story. So I think that was really well done, for example, and I really enjoyed it. And now I have here Uprooted that I honestly don't really know what it is about. Okay, I'm going to read like the summary here. So it says, Agnieszka loves her village, set deep in a peaceful valley, but the nearby enchanted forest casts a shadow over her home. Many have been lost to the wood and none return unchanged. The villagers depend on an ageless wizard, the dragon, to protect them from the forest's dark magic. However, his help comes at a terrible price. A young village woman must serve him for 10 years, leaving all she values behind. Agnieszka fears her dearest friend Kasia will be picked at the next choosing, for she's everything Agnieszka is not, beautiful, graceful and brave. Yet the dragon comes and it's not Kasia he takes. So yeah, I do feel like this is going to be a very fun fantasy book. And Naomi Novik tends to add a lot of folklore to her stories, to her fantasy, which I do really appreciate. I do love reading folklore stories or stuff that is inspired by myths, for example. That's like my favorite kind of fantasy, I think, like taking some stories that were told throughout time and they reach us, and now it's our turn to tell this story and give it our take on the story. I think that's something really fun because all folklore works that way, right? everyone will take a chance to spin their own tale and some things are changed here and there. I think that can be really fun. So yeah, I'm very curious about it, and if I can, I will add this to my TBR and perhaps read this throughout this month as well. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one, and it's also an option. I guess I could just start reading this one instead of the only one left. Is that it? I think it's it. So yeah, I'm not too sure, but I will let you know. Also, the book I've been reading on my phone, I haven't really picked it up again because I was trying to get through this one. But since that's not happening, I'll probably pick that up once again. Like, so far, it's an interesting book. It's a weird book, but it does feel very interesting and very surreal. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And I think this is it for reading updates for now, and I'll come back to you once I have more updates and perhaps more of my clay cats to show you. So it's the weekend and it's going exactly how I was planning to. Like, a lot of times I tell myself, okay, let's just take one day or the whole weekend to just have some fun and to relax a bit and not think about all those things you have to do for work or for other things that we sometimes have to do. And I honestly always fail in doing that, and I always end up more tired than before the weekend starts, because I always end up trying to just do so much stuff in those days that is just so tiring. So this time I just went, okay, now we're going to have some chill hours. We're not going to think too much, we're just going to relax. And I actually picked up, I haven't been playing a lot lately, but I recently picked up A Little to the Left, and I actually did try the game before. But I didn't play the TLCs. So I got all of it now, and I can just restarted the whole thing and started it over. So I just want to do everything I can, do the achievements, try the DLCs as well, since I haven't yet. And it's such a relaxing game. Like, if you're looking for a game that is very, like, effortless, if you like organizing stuff, for example, because I think that's kind of the main thing of the game. So it's some simple puzzles. Usually they are centered around organizing things. So it's all like different situations with different chapters, and you kind of go like through different places in the house, for example. And you just organize things. There are different themes and different kind of puzzles throughout it. I think it's really fun and really relaxing, and it's really perfect for when you're just too tired and you can't really put that much work in any kind of activity, really. But it's not, also not just numbing, you know, you have to think a little bit. Like, some puzzles, I do. I'm not sure if I'm just too tired, but sometimes I open, like, a level starts and I just blankly stare at it like, what am I supposed to do here? But it is part of the fun, because some puzzles are not really straightforward and you have to be a bit more creative with it, I feel like. So yeah, I think it's a very creative game. And also, some of these puzzles, you have different ways of solving it, so you can solve it in all those ways. The game will inform you when a level can be solved in different ways, and you just have to figure out what are those different solutions. So it's really fun. I really love that game. It's probably one of my favorite games, really. That's why I just want to basically 100% it, just play as much as I can. And another one I've been playing, and I honestly have been playing this game for a while now. It's another favorite, which is Dorf Romantic, and it's also very relaxing, kind of puzzly, but even simpler than A Little to the Left, or at least you don't have all those variations. So you have tiles, the tiles appear, and you just have to put the tiles on the map, and obviously you have some mini quests happening there. And the whole goal here is to make as many points as you can. So you just like, you're given a tile, you decide what's the best place to put that tile, and you continue until you run out of tiles and you get your score. You also unlock skins for different tiles. It's very simple but so beautifully done, and I don't know, I really like that game. And there's also a physical board game version, so this is basically a board game, and I'm not sure, but I actually think that this one started as digital. I'm not sure if it was first a board game and then a digital version, or vice versa. And the actual board game also looks really fun, but even though it's not a game that has a whole lot of pieces, it does have, you have all those tiles and you have to set it up. And I really like that you have a digital version, because I can just open the game and start playing without worrying about the game setup, where are the tiles, how do I need to organize the tiles. And I love board games, I really do, and you probably noticed that already, because I have that shelf that sometimes is behind me that is full of board games, and I really don't like them. But sometimes I just don't have the energy to pick up the actual game, the physical board game, set everything up, sometimes remembering the rules, because it's been so long since you played this or that game. And I feel like sometimes we spend so much energy just doing that part before actually starting to play the game, that I really enjoy that sometimes we do have some digital options, because it's much more simple. And of course it depends on the games, because some games are just complex and that's fine, but sometimes I really just want to open up a game, put some tiles down, create a whole landscape and see how many points I can get. And I don't even care about the points, honestly. Like, it's really nice to get a new high score and such, but I'm just having fun doing the mini quests and putting down the tiles. It's so pretty, the game is really pretty, very relaxing. So that's what I've been doing mostly, just playing some games that I honestly missed playing because it's been some time, and that are truly relaxing and just enjoying that bit of time. I did start The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and like, the whole plot seems very interesting. I haven't read a lot yet because honestly I couldn't really focus. Like, I've been really excited to read this book, but I couldn't make myself focus on letters for a long time. So that's why I kind of went for games, because, and very relaxing games that don't ask a lot of you, because that way it's easier to stay focused on those and to rest my brain for a bit. So yeah, that's a bit on pause for now. I haven't been reading a whole lot in the past few days. So yeah, I think those are the updates I have for you this time around. I don't have yet any more clay updates. Hopefully I will have more next week, and if things go as planned, I might do more art as well. I hope so, because it's something I've been meaning to do. I haven't been doing a lot of drawing or painting in general, so hopefully I'll be able to do that next week, but we will see. And obviously you will see that in the next vlog as well. But for now, thank you all so much for watching to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. There was a whole lot besides working this time around. There were quite a lot of hobbies and food, so I hope you enjoy that. And I don't know, since we've talked a bit about games this time around, which I don't often do tell me in the comments, like, do you play games? What are you playing right now? If not, you can also share with me what you've been reading lately or what kind of hobby have you been enjoying lately. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and hopefully I will see you in the next time. Bye!